Good morning. It is bright and early, and I'm heading over to my first ever, I think it's a protest march. I need to be more informed, obviously. That's kind of a statement of our generation. This has nothing to do with like political processes or anything like that, though. I work in education, and this is a teachers union, basically institute, where we go and we rally and we get excited about education and motivated to continue educating in the public arena, but as a part of that, obviously it's a unionized group, and in this particular state, if you take into account the cost of living and the general expense, it's one of the most poorly paid school districts in the United States, and so this should be fun. I'm excited to do it. I opted to volunteer and come to do this to see what it was like. So it'll be a new experience for me, and I'll share it with you. So I'll show you some more footage once we get going with stuff. Hopefully it doesn't turn violent. Just kidding. Not violent. Come on, man. Pacifism. Just to give you guys a heads up as I'm getting closer, this is the campus. This is a school campus, but next door at the Blaisdell Arena is where the actual institute will be, and this place is full with cars, like everywhere. After this, all of obviously the parking lots are full as well, and yeah, I parked a couple blocks away because I knew this is gonna be hectic getting out. You know, I put that education I got to good use, but hey, you know, they got closer getting here, so they're easier, faster getting here. They're just gonna take a long time getting out, which is not my thing, okay? Since they're gonna be on TV later anyway, I don't think it matters that I put people on video. So this is a group of teachers. I mean, I don't know the estimates. I'll ask somebody shortly, but I would guess at least 5,000 that are gonna be in the arena and kind of everywhere. That's here. I'm going to sign in. Right now, and then we'll see what the rest of the festivities look like. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of excited. This is cool. I'm up for new things, you know. So one of the processes here is voting. Yeah, they vote for different positions within the union, including a delegate position to a state convention, as well as a national convention, which this year is being held in Boston. So I just voted. You know, doing my civic duty within the union civic duty, and I'm actually running for one of the positions. We'll see how that goes, but I would love to network with educators and with people all around the country. So we'll see how that goes. I'll let you know. Bye. All right, so I'm gonna have you guys see the entrance to where we're going in and see how many people are in. There's a lot of people waiting to get into the arena. We're gonna go in and look and see what it looks like right now.
If you guys yell and scream. So let's make sure we do that. Right now we have our 2 photographers. Okay? Right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here. I think I'm gonna find an area around the ring.
Right there. You guys see Dr. Seuss? On the count of 3. We want.
All right. So now. It's we just got out of that kind of that speech area. I think I showed you a little bit at the beginning, and now everyone is exiting because we're going to walk over in like march formation to the Capitol, and here are some of the signs. Do you guys mind if I show some of the signs? I'm just like documenting this. So some of the signs that we're going to be showing up. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. So these are some of the signs that we're going to be showing as we walk to the state capitol. Man, it's kind of empowering. I got a little butterflies in my stomach. We're going to walk over to the state capitol. I believe news organizations will be there from the state of Hawaii. Well, not like state media, but you know, the local media that's here as we go to state property. So hopefully the governor's watching, our representatives are watching, especially those who are going to be voting on the next bill that they just talked about in the last meeting. There's a bill proposed to improve funding for local educators here, because tourism is such a big industry many of the multi-million-dollar condominiums and homes that are being built and sold by being purchased by non-Hawaii residents, which means they don't even live here most of the time. Their homes sit vacant, and the cost of living is going up. And anyway, one of the components of the bill is to increase a tax, or to use the property tax from those homes that are non-resident homes to go towards education, because Hawaii is the only state, from my understanding, that does not use property taxes for funding of education, which happens on most of the mainland, if not all of the mainland. So anyway, we're getting ready to march over. Look forward to seeing what it's gonna be like. I'll take some more video in just a bit, but this is it, you know. You know, what's interesting about this, I'm getting ready to go and march over with some of the people. What's interesting about this, I know that there always is in political discourse and public policy discourse, but there's going to be a backlash from people who disagree. But the fact of the matter is, anybody who's working a job, a dignified job, especially one that's considered a professional white-collar job such as an educator, desires to be validated in their experiences in serving and working hard, and they want to be valued, and so we want to be valued in what we do as educators, and there has to be some sort of equitable way to show that, and so the idea of these investment properties being used to tax-wise to help fund education seems to be something that's being put forth, since nobody else is putting forth anything else, to at least show value for local education, which is something that seems to be lacking. If people want to invest in Hawaii and have multi-million-dollar homes and multi-million-dollar condominiums, then let them invest in our local education as well. That's my view, and I think that's the view of the people here that are marching today. So this is a local band of students. Not local, these are, well, I mean, they are. It's from the high school next door. They're here on their day off playing music for this teachers union as they go off and march for improvements in education, including improvements in pay, but also in quality facilities and quality education and class size, which is kind of neat. They don't have to be here, but they're here playing music and rallying the teachers. I thought that was kind of cool. Okay, here we go. We're gonna cross the street, stop at traffic. Got the police out here. We're helping to direct the traffic because it's kind of crazy. I gotta catch up with my school officials. So.
Hey, you guys hold up.
So this is the march that's down. We're going down one of the busier streets in the city of Honolulu, and Baratani. This leads to the state capitol, which you can see down there in the background. As the cars are passing, a lot of local people, either on their way to work or just driving through, are beeping in support for their local teachers, which I think is kind of cool. So yeah, we're getting stopped by some lights, but the police are out helping as well with the traffic situation. There's people still marching through. Again, I haven't asked for the estimates, but I'm willing to bet it's more than 5,000 at this point. I'm willing to bet it's somewhere like 10 or 15,000 teachers and other workers in education that are here rallying for more support for our students and educational facilities. And again, you guys hear the support. All right, so we made it to the state capitol. Now we're just going into the main atrium of the capitol, where people are gathering after having marched down here from the Blaisdell Center. See the red dot on my head? That's from wearing a hat because it's hot. Okay. It's March to protest. Woohoo! All right, I know I've showed you guys a lot of videos of this, but this is big. So I'm gonna just turn around and show y'all everything that's going on right now. I should probably end here, but after the march and the rally at the state capitol, there are vendors that are set up. Of course, you know, we live in a capitalistic society, and so all these all these private programs, which is great, you know, power to them. They're gonna make some sales, I'm sure. Hopefully they are able to sell to some administrators. You know, what I really more hope for is that the products and the services that they're selling will actually serve for the benefit of the local students here in Hawaii. Some of the cool ones though, and I think this is important, is that we look at technology as it increases and develops, and this one is drones, which is super cool, and I think could be very useful for education. Whether you're teaching for business purposes, for doing photography for real estate, or for land surveys and nature surveys, I think that's really useful. It's kind of cool. So I'm just going around taking a look at the different vendors. I've looked at some language education things, as well as, I mean, they've got everything here. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. You know, there was a fascinating event. It was, I think, very useful. It was cathartic, I think, for those that were involved, including myself, allowing ourselves to get out there and publicly let our voices collectively be heard by the community, or be heard by the community, be heard by the city, and especially be heard by the people at the state capitol here in Honolulu. But apart from that, I mean, it was just a fascinating experience to see kind of the power of a collective voice of people. And I think that's true with any group, whether that be on a team, whether that's a sports team, an academic team, or a business team, or in an educational setting, or otherwise, with this particular case being a union setting. Well, I mean, for lack of a better word, it was just super interesting to me to see and to be able to participate in. If you have opportunities in the future, whether it's getting involved with groups like this, whether it's with a collective bargaining group, or just a community group, or a club, or an organization, I would encourage you guys to get involved in ways that are meaningful to you, that are obviously beneficial. You know, we talk about the self-interested individual. I know we're not all altruistic people, nor can we afford to be, but if you're self-interested, generally speaking, you're interested in your community as well, because you're a part of that community. So I would encourage you guys to get out there. I mean, I'm not going to get on a pedestal and preach, but I thought it was a cool experience. It was valuable for me. And so I guess you won't know unless you try it. If you have been involved with this, whether they be political groups, or committees, whatever, or community organizations, I'd love to hear from you guys. Or if they're family groups, we, you know, as a family, we do a community preschool that's kind of a parent-child preschool. We take our kids and we're there with them for a couple hours a day, and I think that's done a couple times a week. And that's something that builds us in our community, and it's something that we're grateful for and we value, obviously. But if there's something that you're involved with, whether it be with work or in your volunteer setting, put that down in the comments below. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to us, we're the Perms. This is a Thursday, so this was our Thursday's thoughts. My thoughts kind of I littered throughout the video about the march to the state capitol, with this education union, this teachers union. And so hopefully you got some of those. But on other days, I'll upload vlogs with our family. You know that I speak only in Spanish with our children. I can't even say children anymore. And con los niños hablo en puro español. So if you haven't done so, give it a like. In the meantime, have a good day. Shoots.